Welcome back. Subito. For those of you newer to the channel, this is our abbreviated form of interjections. Shorter episode. We get straight to the content. It's me, Andrew. I've got Mikko here with me. Mikko, it feels so good to be back in the win column, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It definitely does. Long time since this feeling, so definitely happy to take it.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a big win for a multitude of reasons. One is you're just steadying the ship. This thing, Jay and I have been talking amongst ourselves all season, that this thing could go off the rails if we're not careful. So to get a win in a tough away environment to start the Champions League campaign off right, that's a big first step. The second reason it's a big win is just the Kivu stability factor. You can tell Kivu needed this win, and frankly, I was disappointed going into the match when I saw the lineup. I was hoping for more rotation. I mentioned last episode, I wanted to see Martinez start in net. I was looking for, I don't know, I would have been fine with a Bisek start, a Sucic start. I was open to options. And really the only rotation we saw was Pio going in for an injured Lautaro. I don't even consider De Vrij a substitution, really. He's like a co-starter. So you have minimal changes in the starting 11, which speaks to just Kivu knew we needed this match. And I don't want to take Ajax for granted because that was a tough game. That was not an easy game. And maybe we needed a full-strength lineup to get the job done. So happy with the results. I'll just touch on a couple quick points and I'll get you in here, Mikko. One is I'm glad Summer had a bounce-back game. It wasn't a Herculean performance. He didn't save the day, but he did maybe save the moment with that first half one-on-one save when Ajax had the breakaway. Summer's always been a good one-on-one keeper. The allegations of him being cooked, perhaps premature, but it was nice to see him just step up. And I understand why Kivu decided to start Summer in this match, because if you bench Summer immediately following that performance, maybe the doubt starts to creep in. Maybe you create a bit of a circus, but by staying with him, by saying, no, I still trust you, and him keeping a clean sheet, him having a pretty strong game, it helps just remove some of the lingering doubts. With that being said, I do hope we see Martinez at some point to get some match time. So that's number one. Number two, and this really did feel like a sort of, I don't know, relief after everything that happened on the weekend, because the storylines you and I spent the Juve match talking about, the post-Juve match talking about, was one, Summer, two, Thuram. And Thuram, man of the match performance. He should have won us a penalty in the first half after a VAR decision somehow didn't go our way. I'm still confused what happened there. He could have won another penalty in the second half. And of course, the two goals he scored off headers from corners. So great performance. Glad he was able to, people were throwing out allegations that he's not taking this seriously enough, that he's mailing it in. So glad to see him step up, silence the doubters. And there's been no doubt that through the first, 4 or 5 games of the season, he has been our best player. He has put this team on his back from a goal scoring perspective. So that was great to see. And then the third big takeaway from the match was Pio, his first start that matters. Obviously, he played in the Club World Cup, but this was his first start for Inter in a tough away environment. And he looked like he belonged. And with young players, it's never going to be a smooth trajectory. Sure, it would have been nice to see him bag a goal last night, but he did a lot of small things really well. You see the compilations going around online right now of him holding up the ball. He's sticky, man. When he gets the ball into his feet, it doesn't bounce off him like he's a board the way it did Lukaku. He has more of that. The example people are using is that Zeko-ness in him, where he can trap a ball properly. And were his decisions perfect all night? No. There was one instance in the second half where he trapped the ball and he should have passed it to his left to, I believe, Barella. Instead, he went the other way to Thuram. But it's fine. Like, that stuff's going to come with time. He looked like he belonged, and we need him because I'm still not convinced by Bonnie. So those were my big 3 positives from the match. We can get into the negatives in a little bit. Mikko, any responses to those?
Well, I kind of agree all of what you said. Sommer, yes, it would have been a bit too reactionary to change him out immediately. So it was fine to start Sommer and then not see him kind of falter or anything like that. There wasn't like too much work for him, and I saw one mistake there at the end when there was this who was this guy who were able to almost head the ball to the empty net because Sommer anticipated the cross wrong and he couldn't reach it. That was a bit, I don't know, Onana-esque attempt to get to the cross. But apart from that, it was like a good game, good confidence booster for the guy. And yeah, I think we needed to kind of get him back on track if there was, and there was a bit of a slip in the UA match, definitely. Thuram, yeah, well, you said basically all there is to say, that he's been the best player, and I think he's been like a real beast for us with all those kind of when there's the aerial balls coming, he's been able to trap those balls so well and then continue, even sometimes even kind of turn with the ball and start going forward. And he's been like immense, like very important for our game, because now in these latest games, apart from Torino match, it hasn't been that easy for our kind of build up phase. So those long balls are important, and there's where PO also comes into this play, and in this Ajax match he was very very good in that, as you said as well. And I'm very very happy that he is like he is immediately very effective and useful for the team. He didn't get his goal, but there wasn't like a lot of chances, and he didn't try to force the goal. He was passing when it was more like when it was the smarter thing to do was to pass. He passed it. He created the good chance for Thuram in the first half. For example, he laid the ball for Çalhanoğlu at the start of the second half, when actually the second goal came right after in the corner, when Çalhanoğlu blasted the ball to the defender in the box. And yeah, he looks like a very good player. I'm not sure. Of course, he's just 19, so it's a bit early to do any projections what kind of player he will become. But I see him being very very useful for us in the future, since he's already that. But maybe one reservation is that how kind of agile or how fast he can become. But that's we can see later what's gonna happen with that. But yeah, I'm very happy with how Pio played in this first match. No signs of kind of pressure or anything. He just did his job like it was supposed to be doing.
I'm a sucker for these modern number 9 type forwards. I want the Luca Toni who is slow and just kind of roams around the box trying to head it in. I don't want these modern forwards with pace who are getting in behind the defense. Leave that stuff for the video games.
yeah. I'm okay if Pio turns like anywhere close to Seco peak levels, like that would be like. That would be something. But yeah, maybe we need to wait a bit. At other points I saw in our game is that we didn't pass that much. We actually lost the possession to Ajax, especially in the first half. First half wasn't like great for us. I think we didn't concede that much in the end, but we couldn't kind of control the game with the ball possession. I don't know if it was like a decision by the coach that we try to play more direct and so on. Maybe it was. I think, for example, De Vrij played excellently without the ball, of course, the defending, but also with the ball. How he did those kind of forward passes. He tried those a lot, and I think most of them were successful passes. And I don't know if this was kind of a player thing or if this was more like a Kivu instructing to do that more. At least Acherby hasn't done that too much at the start of the season, but De Vrij, especially in this match, he did that very well, and it opened up some kind of a place there. But yeah, less possession, less passes. We had like I checked some stats there and also some stats that we had like almost 100 passes less than in our previous matches or previous few matches, and 100 less than Ajax, for example. So that was something which was a bit different from our previous games.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. Like that's it's a needed change of style. We were talking last match against Juve how just it gets so predictable at times. It's like you know where the ball is going to go. You know exactly what the sequence is going to be, and maybe that's why we struggle in the league a little bit. So it's just nice to see the directness. And when I think about like the signings we made this summer, like it just felt like Diouf could have like this is the kind of game he will eventually thrive in, where it's more direct, it's more don't pass, just go at the defense, try and attack it. So like I think there's some upside there, but I want you to calm you're the calmer, you're the man who makes peace. I want you to calm a fear I have. So just reflecting on the season so far, we have 2 wins over Torino and Ajax, and both started the same way in that we opened the dam by scoring a headed goal off a corner. And my fear is that we have not looked great from open play this season. Obviously, we put 5 past Torino, but I think that the style of the game changes tremendously when you get a first goal against these smaller sides. Whereas, while we got the first goal against Udinese, we immediately conceded a penalty. Against Juve, we did score goals from open play, but let's be honest, those were mostly individual moments of brilliance rather than the team looking great. So I have a concern that our open play attack has not looked as good as I want it to this season. And maybe that's because Lautaro was injured. A portion of that is because we don't have bench strikers who necessarily excel at scoring goals. So walk me through this insecurity I'm having about our attack right now. Are you concerned that there hasn't been a ton of open play team goals?
Well, honestly, I am also a bit concerned about that. So no kind of a calm coming.
That's not the answer I was looking for, but keep going.
Yeah. I was about to mention this that yeah, we scored 2 set piece goals. We scored set piece goals against Juve mostly. The 2 Çalhanoğlu goals were okay. The other one, the first one was, I think that was like an open play thing. Not nice play by our like attacking moves. But yeah, a lot of set piece goals, and well, you can rely on those, but I don't know, can you like rely on those that much that you can kind of win anything if you can't really generate proper offense? We didn't really generate that much offense and threat against Juve, and we didn't do that against Ajax either. We were quite, at least to my eye, we were quite kind of reserved and tried to be compact against Ajax so that we didn't attack in numbers. We just wanted to play it cool so that we wouldn't concede any counters. Well, we still did. There was a bit of a mess there when there was this breakaway, which Sommer luckily get. Maybe it was more about the attacker messing it up, but anyway, Sommer got it and saved us there. but yeah, I think we might be, or Kivu maybe tries to build this thing now that we are more compact. We don't put that much players in our attack as with Inzaghi. We remember we might have had like beautiful plays or like attack combinations when players just go forward and there's the overlaps and players kind of change positions which generate those spaces, and then we get the chances. But now we try to be more kind of compact, which then makes us less of a threat in our offensive zone. Like we throw the ball to our attackers and they try something. Maybe there's some midfielder helping them. Maybe one wing back is helping, but it's not like overwhelming attacking like it was with Inzaghi time to time, or I don't know, maybe even most of the time. And that's, I think, where we are lacking this player, this Lookman type player. When you can kind of pass the ball to that guy or get this guy open, and then he can generate this threat by himself. And I'm a bit concerned, as you are, that we are kind of incapable of really creating. I guess we could say XG, because that tells you something. It doesn't definitely tell you everything, but the XG, for example, was even against Ajax. Ajax got their XG mostly from those two chances, the breakaway and then the empty net header, which went well over the bar. But anyway, that was a kind of high XG chance versus ours, which were more like generated from small things here and there, and most of those our XG chances were just blocked because there were a lot of Ajax defenders in front of our shots, and they weren't maybe really that good of a chances after all. So yeah, short answer, I am a bit concerned since there might be lacking this. We might have to kind of find a ways to do those some kind of attacking combinations more like train them, since we are not using as many players anymore in our attacks. Or that's how it feels based on this very kind of small sample size so far.
Well, this podcast has been accused of, and unwarranted, in my opinion, but accused at times of being too negative. I will say that this weekend will be a good litmus test for this attack, because we're going back to, not to skip ahead too much, we're going back to what we've struggled against, which is a low block provincial side who is probably going to be sitting pretty deep. This isn't Sassuolo of 10 years ago where they're actually playing kind of progressive, somewhat aesthetic football. This is a team that sits deep again. And let's see how this attack looks. Let's see what happens when we have to go and break down a team, because I have concerns about our ability to break down a team. And we all know about our struggles, extensive struggles against Sassuolo. So this will just be a good opportunity to see what we've got in attack. And there was a player who wasn't used yesterday who I want to talk about, and that is Luis Enrique. Is it, Mikko, is it Luis Enrique or just Luis Enrique? I honestly don't know, because he hasn't played for us.
Yeah, don't ask me about these pronunciations. Luis Enrique.
23 million Brazilian right wing back signing, and he didn't feature again yesterday, and this is becoming a trend now. He has not been used yet in the new season, and it's an obvious cause for concern. I talked about how I was freaked out a little that Darmian was subbed on against him, but this feels like a spot where we need to use him against Sassuolo in some capacity. This is a team who we're going to need to break down, and having someone who can beat your man one-on-one should be pivotal. It should be important in this weekend's match. So I'd like to see him play. I've taken a peek at expected starting lineups for this weekend, and I'll be honest, they are all kind of the same, the usual Inzaghi 11. There's not much interesting things going on there. There's some concerned whether Lautaro is going to be available due to injury. Other than that, we're running back the greatest hits. That's not what I want to see. I want to see Sucic get a start. I want to see Bissek get a start. I'd like to see some rotation. So as you look forward to playing our bogey team this weekend, who are back with a vengeance in Serie A, what are you looking for from the players? Who do you want to see, Mikko?
I agree. Those two names I want to see like at some point, and preferably not like the last 15 minutes, but a bit more, like at least half an hour, if not starting. We're gonna have now Sassuolo at home. Then we're gonna have, I believe, Cagliari away, a bit tougher one, but still like a minor team. And then Cremonese at home, and maybe there's a Champions League home match between those. But there's like 4 matches now coming where like we need to do the rotation. Like we did a bit, very, very little in this match. Kivu made the subs quite late this Ajax match. And I wanna see a lot of rotation between all those 4 matches. I just can't understand if Diouf, if Henrique, they are not playing properly in these matches. We need to get these guys in, and these are perfect opportunities to do so, because the opponents should be like a bit weaker. Like it's not gonna get easier than this. So this is the perfect place to use these guys. I don't really know what's the plan with Henrique. Like you said about Darmian, I kind of understood why Kivu used Darmian against Juve. I get that, but he hasn't played a minute in Serie A yet, so it's a bit not a concern, but it's so early. But still, I would want to see him play. I will like be a starter against Sassuolo, be a starter against Cremonese or something like that.
We need this guy, right? Like there's a reason I'm talking about him, and that's like we need someone who can beat their man. We need someone with pace. We need someone who has like creative attributes in attack. And based on what I've seen, he's someone who's willing to just like go dribble to the center of the pitch and fire off a curler, cut inside, make a tricky shot into the near post. Like these are things this team can use. And the fact he can't get playing time, it just worries me. We have such an extensive history of wingbacks failing at this club. Dalbert, Valentin Lazaro being the most like recent examples. I'm just worried. You need to get playing time sooner than later. So I would like to see him play this weekend against Sassuolo. I don't know about the youth, man. Like I don't know if he's going to be useful in Serie A as much as we hope. He feels like a Champions League player to me, where like maybe against Slavia Praha here in a couple weeks, that's the match where you properly get him integrated into the side. That's one of our 2 easiest fixtures in the Champions League campaign this year, that home match against the Pot 3 side. So there's a lot of planning for Kivu to do, and like I said at the start of this podcast, I understand why he used primarily all our regular starters against Ajax. Tough away fixture. We need to right the ship. We need to get some momentum back after the Juve collapse, but we have this thing hopefully under control. Let's get a league win this weekend, and then we can put all our past troubles in the rearview mirror and hopefully string a few together.
Yeah, so we have like so many. Now we have like midfielders. Fratesi played yesterday, and we have like Fratesi, Zielinski, Sucic, Diouf on the bench. Like he has these players, and now's the time to actually use them. I think like we can't start. To me, we shouldn't start any of these next 4 matches with the line with the midfield we started yesterday. That's my opinion. We should do this rotation so that everyone kind of get to know each other a bit, that they can play with these different guys. Of course, the selections depend maybe on an opponent a bit. Of course, that's always the case. But I really want to see these guys, especially these guys who haven't played at all to get some kind of exposure. Fratesi came in yesterday. When was it? Was it at the 60th minute or something? He wasn't like too involved, but the team wasn't kind of playing. We weren't playing our usual possession style anymore, like I discussed earlier. And he was a bit. I think he was a bit invisible as usual. So let's see what's gonna happen with him. Kivu, I remember in the summer he talked like how important Fratesi will be in this project. But let's see what's gonna happen with that. If we can turn our style to be more direct, maybe then we can find ways to utilize Fratesi the best way. But that remains to be seen.
Yeah, I completely agree about wanting to see some rotation in the midfield. It's the area of the squad we have the most depth right now. We don't know how talented this depth is, but we do have it in numbers. And let's see some of these guys get some minutes. So for the Sassuolo match, I will predict a victory. I know we have struggled so much with Sassuolo historically ever since our 7-1, 7-0 trouncings with them all those years ago. And to Sassuolo's credit, they did just pop Lazio. But still, this is a team we can beat. I saw them against Napoli. They were not anything extraordinary. So give me let's go with a 3-0 win. We're going to fully exercise some demons here. I'll take a Thuram goal because, of course, Thuram scores. Pio gets off the schneid. He gets his first meaningful Inter goal. And let's see. Let's do a Zielinski goal.
Zielinski goal. That would be something. I'm gonna go with 3-1. We can't keep the clean sheet, but that's maybe some kind of consolation goal at the end. Lautaro will get a goal. Hopefully he's back at full fitness. I guess we need him scoring goals again too. And then, well, Thuram, he keeps scoring. He's on fire now. And then let's go with DiMarco goal. He's gonna come off the bench and score a goal. Let's go with that.
I presume the Sassuolo goal will come from Pinamonti.
Yeah, that's a given.
Yeah, Berardi owns Milan. He doesn't own Inter. His beast performances are always against Milan. So it will definitely be Pinamonti who scores against us. Did you know Nemanja Matic is playing for Sassuolo these days?
Oh, okay. Well, he's not that young anymore.
No, even by your standards, he's not that young anymore.
Yeah. But he's still younger than Modric. Well, he's 37. Okay. Well, let's see how.
You mean the best midfielder in Serie A, the man of the match, the man amongst boys at Milan, Modric?
Yeah, that guy.
All right. The only thing I want to bug you for is a Jay's Hot betting tip. Please tell me how the Lazio-Roma derby is going to go.
Lazio-Roma, they both have a bit of a mixed start of the season. Roma a bit better, like result-wise, right? But then they somehow managed to lose against Torino at their home. What's the table look like? Hasn't Lazio lost like 2 games now? Yeah.
Yep, they lost to Sassuolo, as I mentioned, and then they also lost to
Como at the opening week. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't like really watched them, but I saw. Well, they won Verona at home pretty convincingly. I don't know. Dybala was injured against Torino, as usual. He's like out half the season, always. I'm gonna go with. Well, this is a bit of a cop-out. I'm gonna go with 1-1.
I knew you were going to say it before the words left your mouth. I'm like, this is a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, but isn't this usually some kind of a draw or then like a 3-0 blowout to either one? I'm gonna go now with a draw. 1-1. Yeah.
All right. Well, for my family's sake, I will hope and pray for a Lazio victory so they're all happy. All right. Well, we'll wrap up there. Thank you for listening. If you're new to the pod, appreciate you. Please consider subscribing, smashing that like button, telling your friends, telling your dog, whatever you can do to help us out. We always appreciate it. We will catch you all early next week. We'll recap whatever happens against Sassuolo and look ahead to Cagliari. So we'll catch you all then. Mikko, take us away.
Forza Inter.
All right. See you guys.